Welcome back to Learn with Chris. I'm Chris. So in this video, I'm going to go through a list of noun suffixes. So remember, we have a root word. We add an ending to it called a suffix, and it's going to change that root word into a noun if we're using a noun suffix. And that's what we're looking at today. I have a total of 22 different noun suffixes, and I'm going to provide 4 examples for each of those suffixes. So it's quite a lot of information, but just remember that every single word in this video are all nouns. Either they're people, they're places, they're ideas, or they are things. So our first example is ment, M-E-N-T, or ment. And we have 4 examples here. So argument, development, movement, and treatment. So this example, we take a verb, argue, develop, move, or treat, and then it turns into a noun. Okay, so our next example is I-O-N, but we have a little bit of differences here. It could be T-I-O-N, S-I-O-N, or A-T-I-O-N, but they're all I-O-N. So examples: friction, mission, information, and education. So all nouns. Another common one is ness, N-E-S-S. So for example, happiness, fairness, fitness, and weakness. And these examples, we're taking adjectives like happy, fair, fit, or weak, and we're turning them into nouns by adding N-E-S-S. Our next example is ER or OR, and these are going to be people nouns. So for example, teacher, manager, sponsor, and warrior. So ER or OR are generally people nouns. Not always, but generally people. Then we have ITY or just TY. Example: ability, responsibility, certainty, and property. So TY or ITY, also all nouns. Our sixth example is ance or ence. So for example, acquaintance, significance, conference, or violence. So acquaintance is a person that you know. It's like a friend, but not exactly a friend. So I'll maybe explain some of these words if I think that maybe they're a little bit difficult. Maybe I'll give you the meaning of them, but if I think the word is pretty easy, I won't explain it. Okay, our seventh example is ship, S-H-I-P. So we have friendship, relationship, leadership, and citizenship. So I think these are all pretty easy. And then we have ist, I-S-T, and these are also going to be people: journalist, psychiatrist, feminist, and capitalist. So these are all people who either jobs, so for example, journalists and psychiatrists are jobs, and feminist and capitalist, they belong to the system that we're going to have next. Number 9, ism. So for example, a feminist is a person who follows feminism, and a capitalist is a person who follows capitalism. So isms are systems, usually systems of belief, although they could be economic and other things, or they even could be religious, but they're ideologies or ideas, systems of ideas. So we have communism, fatalism, terrorism, and optimism. So, and again, we can just change the ism to an IST to describe the person who follows that: communist, fatalist, terrorist, optimist, right? So if you just change it to IST, you are a person who believes this system or this ideology or this idea. Okay, our 10th noun suffix is hood. Godhood, brotherhood, neighborhood, and knighthood. So that's all nouns. Number 11, ACY, we have conspiracy, diplomacy, literacy, and privacy. Moving on to our 12th noun suffix, dom, D-O-M. Kingdom, wisdom, freedom, and martyrdom. I'll explain martyrdom. A martyr is a person who dies usually for their religious beliefs. They are willing to die for their religion. So if that is what you did, you are a martyr, and the process is called martyrdom. Okay, moving on to the 13th. U-R-E, future, closure, lecture, and adventure. So again, these are all nouns. Number 14, AL, but we have to be careful here because AL is also an adjective suffix ending. There's a way more words that are adjectives than nouns. So if you see AL, it's more likely to be an adjective, not a noun, but I will give you an example of noun suffixes with AL. In another video, when we look at adjectives, we'll see more adjective ALs, but this is nouns. So approval, burial, hospital, and journal. Those are all nouns. Burial, of course, is when people die and you bury them in the ground as a religious rite, or cremation, depending on your culture. So our 15th is AGE, language, marriage, heritage, and village. So these are all nouns as well. Heritage is your ancestors, your country, it's mostly related to where you come from. That's your heritage. My heritage is British, maybe a little bit of French, or a little bit of Irish, probably. Okay, moving on. We have EE, and again, these are going to be usually people. So we have trainee, employee, refugee, and referee. So these are all people, and sometimes they're jobs, but they're all people. Number 17, LOGY. So these are usually related to what you would learn. They're educational studies, like if you study something. So for example, biology is what you study. A eulogy is not study, but I'll explain it later. Astrology and cardiology. So maybe I need to explain most of these words. A eulogy is at a funeral when somebody's died, somebody will stand up and give a speech about that person. That's called the eulogy. Astrology, of course, is the study of the effects that the position of planets and stars have on people, like zodiac, that kind of stuff. And of course, cardiology is the study of the heart. So if you're a cardiologist, you are a heart doctor, and they study cardiology. Okay. Next we have graphy. So we have autobiography, photography, demography, and geography. Again, most of these are studies. Be careful about photography. It's not photography. People make a lot of mistakes there because of the word photograph, but it's photography and photographer. So the syllable changes. So it's not photographer, that's wrong, or photography, that's wrong. So it's photography. Demography is the study of populations. It's actually quite interesting. And geography, of course, is the study of like countries and stuff like that. Okay, where are we? 19. It's a lot. TH, so strength, depth, warmth, and overgrowth. So what we're doing here is we're taking an adjective like strong and we're changing it into a noun, strength, or deep, which becomes depth, or warm becomes warmth in this case. Our 20th example is ESS, and this is actually female versions. So for example, lioness, goddess, actress, and waitress. These are all female. So we do have a special noun suffix for female jobs, or lioness is a female lion, of course. Although very often we don't even use these words anymore. We just use one word to describe all people. So ESS is a little bit out of date, I guess. So, we might just call a actress an actor, right? We wouldn't necessarily need to call them actress, or a waitress, we could just call them a waiter. So the language has changed. Okay, we have two more. 21 is phobia. So we have claustrophobia, hydrophobia, xenophobia, and homophobia. I need to explain all of these. So phobia is a fear, a very strong fear. Claustrophobia is when you are scared of small spaces. You would freak out if you were in an elevator or a small room or something. Hydrophobia, hydro means water, so you're scared of water. Xenophobia, xeno means stranger. So if you're scared of strange people or people from other cultures, xenophobia is very much related to racism, because the people, they're scared of people who don't look like them, so strangers. And homophobia comes from the word homosexual, so if you're scared of homosexuals, scared of gay people, you have homophobia. And our last one is CRACY, cracy, autocracy, democracy, theocracy, and meritocracy. So again, these are systems usually of governments or running things. So for example, autocracy, auto means one. So if it's a government of one person's running the country like a king, that would be an autocracy. Democracy, of course, is demo means people. So I think it means people. Pretty sure it means people. So the government is run by the people. That's democracy. Theocracy, theo means God. Now, a government can't be run by God, but it can be run by people who believe in the God. So if it's like a religious government, it's a theocracy. And meritocracy, it comes from the word merit. And this is a system where you are rewarded for your good deeds. If you work hard, you will get more reward compared to if you are lazy and don't work at all. All right, so that is a list of 22 noun suffixes and a total of, what's that, 88, I think. I can't count. A lot of examples. Okay, so if you have any questions about these, about noun suffixes, please. Now, I've only given 4 examples of each. There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of examples, right? Because there are a lot of nouns in English, hundreds of thousands, and a lot of them end with these suffixes. So, as I said in the previous video, you might not necessarily understand the meaning of the word, but if you know the suffix, in this case, you know that it's a noun. You know it's a thing or a person, and maybe that can help you understand the word that you don't know just by understanding the suffix. But like, for example, citizenship. Okay, maybe you don't know what citizen means, maybe. But if you know that ship is a noun suffix, then you know that citizenship is a thing. You know it's a noun, but maybe you don't know exactly what it means because you don't know what the root word means. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you next time. Have a good night. Bye-bye.